Have you ever thought about taking a mythological god, combining them with semi-automatic and automatic weaponry, placing them in the depths of hell, and watching chaos unfold? Oh, you haven't wanted to do that? Okay, but now that I mention it, it sounds pretty good, doesn't it? Well, good thing we have a game for that called Godsvivors, and this is a roguelike twin-stick shooter where you're able to play as people like Ares and Poseidon and all of our fun favorite mythological gods. Before we get into this video, please hit that like and subscribe button. Help me get over that 2,000 hump and maybe even further. That would be great, at some point. That would be nice if this channel would start doing better. You know what? I need one of those viral moments to happen. But anyway, let's just get back to the game because it's more important. Anyway, so this is much like a lot of other Survivor games, and not survival games. Survivor, like Vampire Survivor, and a lot of those other games, except for this is, like I said, a twin stick shooter. Instead of it having like an auto attack, you literally have to physically push the attack button, which is the right trigger, by the way. But a lot of the other same mechanics are there, and I think that's why it's noted as a roguelike, is because, yes, you will die, but you collect money and XP as you're taking out enemies. Now, the XP you can't take with you, but the money you can. And with the money, you can unlock different weaponry and even forge some new accessories. I'll get into here in just a second. But like I said, during the run, you collect XP. In that, you can keep building upon your character while in the run. Of course, when you die, you have to start over from level 0 again. Although the important thing with this one is there's stages of different perks that you unlock. So let's just say at your first upgrade, you want to get like a better penetrating shot. Well, there's 3 stages to that. And on the third one, on some of these things, you will be able to unlock a new god. One example I can think of is like there's a speed boost kind of thing. Like basically you're able to move quicker and reload your weapon faster. And again, there's 3 levels to this. So when you're able to, you keep going. And at the third level, or third upgrade, if you will, after you die, you'll unlock, I believe his name is Hermes. I don't know, he's a fast one. I don't know, the only thing that's coming to my mind is the character from Futurama. That's the only thing that I can think of when I think of Hermes. But anyway, there's a lot of different ways to unlock gods, and most of it's pretty easy. The other thing, though, like I said, is you'll get this money, and again, the money can go directly to the weapons that you start off with, and there's an array of different unlockable weapons that are actually relatively easy to achieve. But the other thing is a forge, which you can forge these accessory kind of deals. Now, really what they are is they're kind of cheat modes, if you will. For example, one is like this health potion that is like 10,000 gold, and when you do unlock it, you can either turn it on or off, and if you have it on, this potion will allow your character to do 50% more damage while on a run. So you can see, like, it gives you so much more power, and there's a ton of different options in this forge that you can unlock, and typically forging these accessories does cost a lot more than just unlocking a weapon, but it's really honestly not that much if you really think about it. Like, I basically 100% unlocked this game in about 2 hours or so, and to be honest, it was a really fun 2 hours. Like, I really enjoyed my time there. If you're looking for something longer, more like Vampire Survivors or something, this is probably not the best option, and especially since it's actually more expensive than Vampire Survivors. And it did just release, so there isn't as many updates or DLCs and things of that nature, but who knows what the future might hold. I will say another thing that is important to note that I sort of forgot was that the gods that you use have different passive abilities, and they also have like an ultimate as well. And you can use this quite often, and it will do things like with Ares, I know it gives him like 30 to 50% more damage capabilities, as well as, I believe, cranking up his speed a little bit. Each god has their own special ability, which is a cool idea. The only negative thing about this is depending on what god you're using, what ability they have, what accessories you might have turned on, and more importantly, I noticed what weapon you're using, like the grenade launcher, for instance, will cause some massive slowdowns in the game. I'll do what I can to try to recreate that here in the video, but it happens quite a bit, and where I think the biggest issue is like I said, with the grenade launcher, with a lot of action going on the screen, just can't handle it. And it feels like you're playing in like mud, like everything. It's not just bullet movements or it's not just the enemies, it's everything that is in the screen is moving super slow. Like, yeah, like it's in molasses or something. And it's incredibly unpleasant when it happens. Although I will say, it doesn't really affect your run though, because everything slows down. And the thing that makes this difficult though, is I will say there are some ultimates, specifically one that I can think of, where your character does pretty much call water and it almost feels like you're underwater anyway. And so there's just certain things like that where I feel like you might be triggering it to do this massive slowdown without even meaning to. And when it does happen, it can stay around for quite a while and it just really ruin a run. It's just incredibly unfun once that happens. And like I said, for me anyway, it really felt unpleasant. Like, I don't know how to explain any other way, but it just almost made me nauseous, which is weird. But outside of that, it's a pretty good game. But like I said, I think they need to get that fixed before I can recommend picking it up or anything like that. Any of these performance issues have to be addressed. And once it is actually patched and fixed up and fully polished, I think this game could be good. I do think they're going to run into an issue just to its value, because it is $4.99. And you think about that, you can buy like Vampire Survivors twice over for that. And so while I did enjoy playing the game, and I definitely think that there's some fun to be had here, I just think that they need to come down on the value, but before any of that, they need to patch this game up. So for me right now, I would definitely advise against picking this one up, but I'm curious if any of you guys are interested in it, or have you picked it up already? Let me know any and all of your thoughts down below in the comment section. It really helps get more attention to the channel and helps get my numbers up, which I desperately need. Anyway, I love each and every one of you guys. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.